What's up, guys? It's LazyxRegards here, and today I have another gameplay commentary for you guys. So let's hope that I can actually get this done. This is like the third or fourth time I'm trying to do this commentary, and I can't do it. I'm having problems, but let's hope this is gonna actually work this time. So quickly about this gameplay, it's some PDW with a suppressor and stock. It's nothing too great. It's just 45 and 5. Just some gameplay to go along with the commentary topic. So and I am using newbie kill streaks. I'm using like 100 killer and stuff like that. So don't expect friggin' nuclears and stuff like that, because I'm obviously like terrible at COD. So let's just get straight in this commentary. I know you guys don't care about the gameplay, so let's just get straight in this. So first thing I'm going to talk about is the topic is why COD is dying, as in COD means Call of Duty. So why COD is dying. The first thing I'm going to touch on is the games, how they're yearly now. So back in the day, COD 4, COD 3, different things like that, the games came out 2 to 3 years, which is a lot less frequent than they do now. Now they come out every November, in between usually the 8th and the 12th, in between those dates, but it's every single November every year. So, and what this means is two kind of big things. Well, one, they're getting more money from it because they're making games more frequent, which is going to be obviously a plus to them and why they want to do it more quickly. And the other thing is, in my opinion, what I've been seeing is it's kind of like making the quality not near as good. And one thing that I see is affected by this is obviously the campaign. I'm not saying the campaign's not that good, but the campaign, it just seems like the missions are getting so what's the word? It's so like they're the same kind of missions every single time. And I think all they're going on right now is the story, so not even the gameplay. So that's one thing I feel that's really deteriorating in the COD series, is they're not putting as much work in the campaign. It seems like the only thing they pretty much care about now is the multiplayer and zombies. So, and I'm obviously not a multiplayer player. I play zombies, but that's what I mean. Like, it's just the games on the parts where like older gamers like myself and many people that we liked about the COD and still like to play COD. We're not as much into multiplayer. We really like their original campaigns, because if you don't know, the first few CODs, like Finest Hour, Big Red One, that's Call of Duty 1 and 2, they never had any multiplayer, no zombies. Zombies was the first thing in World at War, so, and that was a really good thing in my opinion, but that's for another topic. So that's one thing that, that's basically it. I'm going to wrap up this reason because I think you guys get the idea. COD games are kind of losing their value to me. I just don't feel they are putting in as much time and effort into them as they used to. So yep. So the next thing I'm gonna hit on is not hit on, I'm not like that. No, probably am. But all right, let's get on. Stay on this topic. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is how it's like more geared to the noober players. I don't think noober is a word, but so how they're geared to it. What I mean by examples is like target finders, low lethal kill streaks. Like, they make it geared towards the new player. Then they don't make the gameplay geared to the older COD players, and not even just COD, just older players in general. A lot of the newbier players are going to use target finder, which, if you don't know, it's basically a wall hack scope. I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of bad comments about that comment I just said, but it basically is like it shows you exactly where they are if it comes up in a pretty wide scope, and it's pretty cheap in my opinion, so that makes it easier for the noobs to spot you out. So the next thing that is really big is the low lethal kill streaks, and what I mean is, by what I'm doing in this video, is like the 100 killer drone. So I can understand, like in Black Ops 1 with the RCXD, that was a really low thing that you could get a kill with, but it took effort. If you didn't do the RCXD right, you wouldn't get the kill. The 100 killer, you literally just select the kill streak, and then you press right trigger and it goes, and it just flies around till it finds somebody to randomly kill. So I mean, it takes pretty much no work besides getting the kill streak, and I think it's a really kind of noob way for the kids who can't get the kill streaks, like the VSATs and dogs and swarms. That's a way they can get their kills, and what it does is it can ruin your gameplay quite easily. You can get killed by literally just running around the map, and you could be killing, you could be on a 50 kill streak, and some random 4 and 25 player gets 100 kill drone. It can just randomly kill you, and if it hasn't happened to you, then yeah, be happy. But it will happen to you if you go for gameplays, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world. What I compare it to is like the martyrdom or death streaks from Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Is they can just kill you even after you get the guy. So that I'm gonna get off that. I am rambling on about it, but that's one really thing that's aggravating me about the newer CODs and everything. So next thing I'm gonna talk about is, so they're making, this is actually exclusive to Black Ops 2, so I'm not going to really blame Infinity Ward about this, but what they're making you do now, if you don't know, is you have to buy the DLC to get the submachine gun, the Peacekeeper. So the Peacekeeper, you can just look up gameplays of it. It's a pretty good submachine gun. It's a lot like, I would say, the M416 or, like an M4 kind of, don't quote me on that, but it has quite a few similarities, and in my opinion, it's probably one of the best submachine guns in the game. And the reason I'm kind of like upset about the Peacekeeper is you can only get it from buying the DLC map pack, the original first one, for Black Ops 2, and I feel that's really bad because these people are getting, arguably better guns just for buying the DLCs. And you know what this does? This makes these kids, like, you see a kid with a Peacekeeper, getting a high kill streak and everything, you're like, oh, I want the Peacekeeper. So it's, I mean, they're pretty much like strong arming you, as like, have a gun on you and saying buy it, because if, and a lot of the YouTubers now had to buy it because, all these kids want to see, Peacekeeper, nuclear gameplay, and it's really frustrating as a YouTuber and a gamer because you're getting, you're getting screwed over basically by the game developers, and that's another thing that's really frustrating. They're making you pay to pretty much get guns, so in my opinion, I think that's really bad and it's wrong. So, but that's about it for the Peacekeeper. Don't expect Peacekeeper gameplay because I don't play this game enough, and I'm not gonna buy a DLC for something. I'm not gonna buy something that I don't support. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is how they're making you pay for like literally everything. So I don't know if if you haven't been on YouTube or Black Ops 2 in a while, you wouldn't know this, but I'm just gonna shed some light on it. So basically, they're making you pay. I'll give you some examples of things. Certain camos you have to buy. You don't have to, but most little kids are gonna do it. So buy camos for your gun. So what I mean by that is this bacon camo. You can Google these if you want to see them, but they're basically camos for your gun that you have to buy. They're I believe $2. And which transfers over to like, I don't know, 200-300 Microsoft points, but something like that, and it's like they're making you pay camo, something that you should be able to earn legitly and normally. So that's really frustrating. Like, it's just, it's so frustrating, especially like XJaws. As many of you know, I'm not a big supporter of XJaws. XJaws, at least what he's doing, he's giving away some of these codes because he gets a bunch of free ones. So that's one thing I can give to XJaws, but why I'm bringing up XJaws, you're wondering, like, because that's what these big YouTubers are doing to get big now. They're like, oh yeah, I'm doing 5 camo bacon camo giveaway and sub to get it, and these how people are gaining subs, like in my opinion, illegitimately getting subs by pretty much bribing your audience. So there's many things wrong that I think is with these camos. You have to buy them first of all, and these people are growing on YouTube that shouldn't. Well, no, I'm not going to say shouldn't, but I don't think should have the same amount of time and effort in their channels as other YouTubers. And I'm not saying just me. I'm saying anybody. Like, it's just not really fair, in my opinion. And that's kind of becoming what it is, It's starting to be, channels are growing by giveaways, like HD PVR giveaway. I'll do it away at 3,000 subs or whatever like that. And it seems like these people want to grow instantly, and I'm getting really off topic. This isn't a rant about YouTube, but whatever. So that's about it for this commentary. I really want to thank you for watching my little rant on Call of Duty. And, if you have any opinions that you disagree with me on, I'll be more than happy to talk with you about them. So just comment them or PM me and we can talk. Just remember, don't be too rude. You can disagree with me. It's 100% cool. Everybody has opinions. But just do it respectfully. So please like, favorite, and share this video if you really liked it, and sub if you love this sexy voice. So yeah, deuces.